Hello everybody, welcome back to Because Geek, and here I am with Chris from SmokeScreen. Holy crap, you guys, we're actually doing a collaboration again after like 2 years or something like that, over 2 years.
Yeah, it's about damn time. She's been telling me since season 6 aired that let's get to it next week. It's been pushing it off for 2 years.
I was actually just talking about it and it's like, damn, I've been pushing this thing for like 4 months now.
Good to be back, Val. Good to be back, my old partner in crime, doing Game of Thrones season 8 predictions.
Yeah, exactly. The same thing that we did for season 6 way back. We're gonna be doing separate character predictions. We'll be doing 2 at a time, and the same way we did it last time. Like, one character will be on my channel and one character will be on Chris's channel, and yeah.
And we're going to start with the Hound and Jaime. So this is going to be Jaime here on Val's channel, and the Hound will be over on SmokeScreen at the same time, I believe. Oh, and by the way, you're now watching Because Geek. Or do you want me to do, you're now watching Because Geek?
Holy crap, now I have so many options.
So yeah, Jaime, what's going to happen with Jaime in Game of Thrones Season 8? So last we saw Jaime, he finally left Cersei, and he's heading up to Winterfell, of course. We saw the snow fall in King's Landing. We saw him cover his little golden hand with his little glove, look up, and all the mystical music played. It was emotional, and he headed up north alone. I do think Brienne will catch up with him. So we know he's heading to Winterfell. So I'll start by saying this. We'll go back to Season 1 when he and Jon had the little scene there in Winterfell, and he was shaking Jon's hand.
Right.
And kind of making fun of him for being a Night's Watch dude. Like, you know, if you don't like it, it's only for life. So in a sense now, I think that's going to play a big part. They're going to circle back around with that. And a couple other things I'm sure we'll mention here in a few minutes. And he actually kind of will be a part of the Night's Watch, although there's not an official, not officially, but I mean, because everybody's kind of the Night's Watch now, right? Because they're guarding against the realms of men with the White Walkers, so...
Yeah, that's true.
First things first, he's heading north.
Also, just to nitpick a little bit, you know when Jaime's putting that glove on his golden hand, how the hell did he fit his fingers into the glove? There's just absolutely
I don't get it.
No,
hey, look, if it doesn't fit, you must have quit. But I guess, going into the actual story of why he did that, he's trying to apparently hide who he is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The Kingslayer is known for having a gold hand now, so he is definitely heading up north. So first off, we think, I think you would agree, he's going to obviously meet with Jon and Dany, as well as Bran. And I know we're going to hear the things I'll do for love.
Oh my god.
You know we're going to hear that line.
Yeah, that would be quite the scene if he said that to Jaime. I really, really hope Jaime does make it in time to Winterfell, because, I don't know, but I've been seeing some hints to maybe he gets there late after the battle has already started, and we're all expecting Jaime to reveal the news of Cersei betraying everyone and not planning to help the North fight the Whites. And this is like the big deal of Jaime leaving Cersei and going north, because he can tell everyone this. But if he doesn't make it in time, then that conflict is just not going to happen. That drama there is just going to be thrown in the garbage.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think he's got to make it first. I think he's got to be one to reveal that news to Jon and Dany and of course Bran and Sansa and the whole, Stark gang. So you got to have that drama, because, with the Bran thing, he's going to forgive him. Jon's going to want to kill him. Dany's going to want to kill him. He killed the Mad King. That's going to come back into full circle. The whole story with Brienne fitting in there as well. So I think you got to have that drama. But I do agree that there's going to be things where you start to see these great conversations you want to see resolved, and then a horn blows and the fucking White Walkers are there. You know what I mean? It's always going to be something. They keep pushing the shit back, is what I'm saying.
But if you really think about it, would it really help for Jaime to say this to Jon and Dany? Because even if Cersei is not coming, they still need to do the exact same things. It's not like they can do anything about Cersei not coming,
No, that is true. That is true. I guess just to at least show for his personal arc, his loyalty to the realm, how he's changed. They have to confront him about all his past behaviors. He'll probably just maybe think he's going to die. But you got to have Brienne step in there and kind of vouch for him. Bran will be able to see things. The true story's got to come out. This ties into the whole White Book we'll get into as well. The White Book scenes are really important, I think, for Jaime's arc.
Someone forgot to write down all your great deeds.
There's still time.
I think we'll have some sort of scene where Jaime is at the crossroads, because that's where everyone stops, and that's where Bronn will catch up with him or something like that, probably.
Yeah, Bronn will definitely head to Winterfell, either follow him or meet up with him somewhere beforehand, or, whatever. He's not going to stay in King's Landing with Cersei. Cersei would have him killed. He can't trust her. So once he's gone, he will follow. And of course, you got that hint last year anyway when Bronn left the gold. He could have grabbed the gold and ran. No, he went and helped his buddy and said only he can kill him. So he does care for Tyrion and Jaime. So Bronn will actually be there.
He does. And Bronn doesn't want to fight against the dragons. He'd probably want to be on the side of the dragons if he can.
Yes. I mean, smart sales swords choose the winning side.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Dragons are where our partnership ends.
So we got to get into, for the Jaime arc, we have to get into the books just a little bit, just for a little hint here. Because I think it says a lot about Jaime's character arc in the show as well. I think it's going to be fairly similar. The Valonqar thing may or may not be, because they did not include that in the show. Remember the Maggie the Frog thing. They did not say the Valonqar, all that kind of stuff. So they can do what they want with that. But in the books, after Jaime loses his hand to Vargo Hoat, again, this was Locke in the show, so the books, it was a different character. That was his identity. His right hand, his sword hand, was everything to him. So that damn near killed him. But the point being is, after he has his hand cut off in the books, he has a weirwood fever dream, right? And so this is where he lays his head on a stump. It's a weirwood tree, you find out, and he has this crazy dream. He dreams he's in some kind of dungeon below Casterly Rock or some sandy, watery area you don't really know. And he sees Cersei there, he sees Tywin, and he's scared. And Cersei actually tells him in this dream, "You will die when the light goes out." And he's like, "Don't leave me, give me a sword at least." And Tywin says, "I've already given you a sword." He reaches down under the water, he picks up a sword, and it becomes a fiery sword, a flaming sword. Of course, it reminds us of Lightbringer, the whole metaphorical sword. If you watch my channel, I don't believe in literal flaming swords, other than Beric actually setting it on fire with wildfire. But as far as the Lightbringer, actual sword being some magical thing, I don't buy it. But I think it has a good little symbolism here. But then Brienne shows up, and Brienne also ends up with a flaming sword. So then they go through this cave, and then he runs into Rhaegar Targaryen. And Rhaegar and his former Kingsguard brothers and stuff are talking about, you didn't protect your king, you killed him and all this kind of stuff. So I think this points to him actually protecting the king, which we know now is Jon Snow, aka Aegon Targaryen. So I think that points to the future role of him, whether that's in the battle or whatever in season 8 and the books as well, of him actually protecting the rightful heir, Jon Snow. So we'll get into that in just a second, a little more in depth, I guess, as far as how that happens. But I think that definitely happens. And a little side note there, Brienne in this dream, as his light starts to go out on his sword, right? His light goes out and he wakes up. But he wakes up remembering that Brienne's light did not go out on her sword.
Right.
So I think that tells us, Jaime may not make it through this whole thing. And he could actually die protecting the king. But either way, it will come back to the White Book, and Brienne has a huge role in this story with him.
Yeah, I think so. It's something very similar will happen in the show. Hey guys, I'm just interrupting here real quick to let you know that I'm about to show a very mild spoiler. It's a video from the set, but it doesn't spoil any major events, and we don't even know for sure which characters were involved. So if even that is too much for you, you can skip to this time in the video, but if you don't mind, then please continue watching. Not exactly in the same context, but I did see a little clip where we see 3 riders riding towards the army of the dead, carrying flaming swords, and it was 3 riders. Okay, so 3 people with flaming swords.
Oh, wait. You've seen a clip of season 8?
I've seen a clip of the filming of the set.
Oh, see, I didn't know this.
Yeah.
This is new.
Yeah, so I'm telling you guys, okay, just be careful, because I know some sleuthing stuff. Anyway, some filming new stuff. I've been doing a ton of research on that, so this is all coming back to me, but it was a very far away video, obviously, because you can't get anywhere close to these sets, but a lot of people were looking into this, and apparently one of the riders was holding his sword on his left hand. So could this be Jaime, Beric, and Brienne with flaming swords?
Could be, or it could be the Hound.
Yeah, so Brienne, the Hound, and Jaime. That's a very possibility.
Possibility.
But another cool detail that adds to this, it actually happens during the scene where Jon and Dany are at the cave. You guys remember the drawings that were on the walls inside of the cave? There was one drawing of like something that looked like 3 knights, the people who were fighting the White Walkers. And if you look closely, there are 2 right-handed guys and 1 left-handed guy.
Oh!
Not only that, but the left-handed guy seems to have some sort of glove on his right hand, right? And I'm not...
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take any credit for this. I didn't figure this out. Someone else did. But it is there, and it's an incredible thing that these people found. And, I mean, it ties into the whole 3 writers thing, so, yeah, it could definitely be this.
Yeah, I never paid attention to that. So yeah, that was the scene where you see the White Walker, or I'm sorry, the men team up with the children, or at least just telling the story of how they teamed up against the Night King. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I've never paid attention enough to the cave drawings themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting. So is it a story of the past, or is it prophecy?
Yeah.
What if?
What? Yeah, I need to do one of those.
I know, we had one of those in 2 years.
Another thing I want to talk about, though, is Brienne. So, Jaime, we know that Jaime will be fighting against the Whites side by side with Brienne. This has been confirmed from sources, but it's not a huge spoiler because, come on, this was obviously going to happen.
Yeah, they're all going to be fighting beside each other. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. But what I think will happen, and there's been hints, and it's been foreshadowed and everything, Jaime will die in Brienne's arms. Right?
Yeah, no doubt. He's going to die in the arms of the woman he loves, which, of course, is no longer Cersei. It's going to be Brienne the Beauty. That's going to happen. And it goes back to the White Book thing. Obviously, there's going to be something filled out at some point, and it's going to be, as he said in the scene with Brienne, it's the duty of the Lord Commander. So,
thereafter known as the Kingslayer.
It's the duty of the Lord Commander to fill those pages.
I know this is a Jaime video, but just to throw this in here, Brienne will be the Lord Commander of the Queens or Kings or whatever guard before there's a change or whatever. So she will write in the Book of Brothers, the White Book, about Jaime, and put in the real story about why he killed the Mad King and probably the Mad Queen, and that absolutely he will die in her arms.
Wow, yeah, that is excellent. I love that. Perfect. Mm-hmm.
It is perfect.
Perfect. So the other important thing to talk about now is the belief that a lot of people have still, thanks to the books, that Jaime will kill Cersei. Now, I have reason to believe that this is not going to happen.
Oh, that Jaime will not kill Cersei.
No, Jaime will not kill Cersei.
Well, okay. I may know where you're heading with this. I may know. Let me wrap my thoughts up into one little paragraph, I believe. So, in a nutshell, I think that Jaime heads up to Winterfell, right? We know this. He's going to Winterfell. He ends up, surviving that encounter. There's going to be some drama, but he ends up living. They let him live, obviously. He proves himself, whatever. Brienne backs him up. Bran may even actually support him and go back and see other things. In other words, he can always verify what Brienne says. Mm-hmm. They end up going south, obviously. They're going to be pushed south. Winterfell is going to fall. It's not the last stop for this war. A lot of people still think that, I believe, that this war is going to somehow end at Winterfell. Where Winterfell?
Yeah, no.
No, it's going south, obviously. If you follow my theory of the God's Eye, it may not be a show thing, but it'll definitely end up down south in King's Landing too, I'm sure. So he gets back there, I think. I was going to say that he does complete that circle by killing Cersei in some way, but it can still happen. And I think this is where Val's heading. He will die protecting his king, Aegon Targaryen, a.k.a. Jon, die in the arms of the woman he loves, Brienne. Mm-hmm. Now, after he's dead, could Jaime still be involved in killing Cersei, for example, if he didn't?
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, he can.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yes,
all
he
right.
can. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you see Jaime die, and then you see Jaime running in the Red Keep with a little sword.
But with a little...
Yes. Oh, really quickly, too, I wanted to say that dream thing. I meant to say that, too. I think that represents, the fiery swords. I think that almost confirms for me that the fiery sword, metaphors literally stand for Valyrian steel. because Brienne and Jaime both have Oathkeeper and Widow's Wail made from ice, and I think that's what it represents. So to me, that's also more evidence that there's no literal flaming sword. I mean, what can a flaming sword do that a Valyrian steel sword cannot? I said this many times, but it would have to shoot fucking laser beams. So there's no literal flaming sword. Anyway, sorry, little side note, but if you do see Jaime die, but then you see Jaime again with a smaller little sword and a little dagger, then, hey, you know, Arya could take his face.
I guess, okay, well, I thought you were going the route of Jaime turning into a white and then getting to Cersei somehow after.
Well, no, that's absolutely another option too.
Okay, because, I mean...
you never know. You absolutely... Yeah, because how do you stop, like, once somebody dies, it's not like, you know, in The Walking Dead where you stab them in the head to keep them from turning.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you got to burn them, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think they're going to have time to burn
They're not going to have time if it's in the middle of a big battle, right? So he could come back up as a white and still kill her, or she could take his face.
No, wait a second. Okay, I just made some connections here.
What if?
What if? Yeah. Because I was thinking, you know, you just said that flaming swords are no better than Valyrian steel swords because they're basically the same thing. So I'm thinking about this and like, why would they light their swords? Like, if it's Jaime and Brienne with the fiery swords that we saw in the filming news, why would they light them on fire if they're already Valyrian steel? But now that we're talking about them not having time to burn the dead bodies, maybe that's why they're lighting their swords on fire, so they can burn the bodies, right? Right after they fall, so they don't come back as whites?
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Sorry, that's a inside joke. But yeah, that's a good idea. Like, you know, that's what I was going to say about Beric. You know, it's like, it's a sword, it's on fire, it's like lighting them on fire as he hits them. So yes, that's actually a good reason to light a sword on fire.
Well, no, I'm talking about the dead bodies of the people who are fighting the whites. Like, so they don't come back, because we're talking about them not having time to burn the bodies.
Oh, yeah, so like somebody falls and they immediately go over there and burn them before, yeah.
Yes. So maybe they'll be carrying like some alcohol in one hand and this fiery sword in the other hand.
Right.
You know, oh, he's dead, okay.
Yeah, because you know in Game of Thrones, like everything just lights up automatically. It don't matter how cold or wet it is, everything just catches on fire.
Alright, so I'm going to bring up a spoiler. This is going to be a big spoiler, so if you don't want to know about it, you can skip to this time. I'm gonna put it on the screen to skip to this time, so if you don't want to know the spoiler. But the episode in which Jaime might die, I think, will be episode number 4. Something came out, something leaked about a legal problem with the actor Nikolai who plays Jaime. Something complicated, but it revealed that he's not doing more than 4 episodes. So,
I did not know this. I'm getting spoiled.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, Chris.
No, I mean, either way, it's fine. I mean, I think he doesn't make it regardless, so it doesn't really matter what episode it is. I mean, he'll make it, you know, halfway through the season, whatever, or a little more, I guess, if there's 6 episodes. Yeah, and also I just thought really quick, just to throw this in here, to you know, give my little final prediction. This was kind of a scene back in season 1 when Tyrion went to the wall. Tyrion saved Jon from getting his ass stoned by everybody. You know, he was being kind of a dick. He was kicking everybody's ass because he was, you know, raised in a castle. Mm-hmm. They all go up to, you know, threaten him, you know, whatever they're going to do. Tyrion walks in, saves him. So there's already a case of a Lannister saving Jon Snow, or Aegon, whatever you want to call him. So maybe that's a little hint that, you know, it kind of goes full circle. The show started with the Lannisters and Starks fighting each other, and then it ends with them fighting together.
That's pretty cool. I like it.
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot. But you know what, like thinking about the Jaime killing Cersei thing, like I've liked that theory for a long time. And actually just now, recording this video, I started thinking of something different and like thinking of why would Jaime kill Cersei if he's having a redemption arc? He can't do the exact same thing that he did in the past. I mean, we all know his relationship with Cersei, but he would still be known as a Queenslayer. So, you know, it wouldn't be a redemption arc for Jaime.
Well, for me, though, it was because she's going to try this wildfire trick. And we will get into that and we do Cersei predictions, but it's almost the same thing that the Mad King did. She's going to try, because, you know, the way she looks at it is, if I can't rule, nobody else will. Everybody can die and go to hell. I'm going to blow this shit up. If I'm going to be defeated, I'm going to blow this shit up. So it's the same thing that the Mad King was doing. And I think that ties into what Bran keeps seeing the Mad King for. as far as what his real motives were. What does he really mean when he said burn them all? That type of thing. Was it blood raven in his head and all that? So I think that kind of ties in, and he would be stopping her again and save the 1 million people this time, because Jon did state specifically there was 1 million people, or I'm sorry, Tyrion did on the boat. There was 1 million people there, so he saves the city again by becoming the Queen Slayer. But again, if Brienne writes in the White Book as Lord Commander after all this, she would tell the full story that Ned never knew. That's what always bothered me about Ned. Ned was such a stubborn bastard that he never took time to talk to Jaime about why he did it.
Yeah.
That's what started Jaime's demons in the first place.
Yeah, the Starks better apologize for that shit.
Yes, they are not perfect.
But yeah, I'll just throw that out there for you guys to think about. Maybe it's not a way to end his redemption arc. Maybe it is. We don't know. I mean, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens in the books. And in the show, my god, final season. Okay, yeah.
Yes, it's bittersweet already. But that's all the thoughts I had on Jaime. Again, in a nutshell, Winterfell goes back south. He gets forgiven. He lives. He dies, saving the king this time. Or perhaps kills Cersei, then saves the king, whatever. And then definitely dies in Brienne's arms. Mm-hmm. And gets added to the White Book. There will be more added to that White Book. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I love that White Book prediction. Yeah, no, I agree with all that. And yeah, those are all my thoughts as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you liked it, subscribe for more, and, go check out Chris's channel, because he does awesome Game of Thrones videos as well. And we'll be making more prediction videos, so stay tuned for that, subscribe for more, like I said, and I will see you in the next one!
Absolutely, though. If everything else is wrong, he will absolutely die in the arms of the woman he loves, Jennifer Lopez. I mean, Brienne of Tarth. So that will absolutely happen no matter what else we get right.
Right.
Hey, this is Val from Geek, and I've been sleuthing a lot lately. And, he's just going to die, and that's it. So, all right. Where do we last see Jaime? Oh, okay, he left. I understand. You can't get that glove on. It's too small.
No way.
No, that's fine. I don't expect it. Damn it. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. What is going on? I got throat cancer.
Oh, no.
Jesus.